Good evening, one and all. Good evening. How has the last couple of hours been for you? It's been a bit joyous, really, hasn't it? Hopefully, all enjoying ourselves. I've just had before we start on the football and the West Ham. I've just had my first ever pretzel. I know. How did you get to the age of 47 and never had a pretzel? I hear you ask. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. What's all that about? Why would you do such a thing? Nasty, nasty. So then my daughter said, "It's all right, have one of these. It's covered in caramel, like chocolate caramel. Still nasty. I got the aftertaste. Mm, horrible, horrible. Never touch them. Never touch them. Right then. That was good, wasn't it? The battle of Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice. Did anybody else feel that? Did anyone else sense that during the game? I did wonder if this sort of played into Declan Rice's frustrations a little bit. And he, he was annoyed with his teammates. Did you notice? Granted, I didn't really play well in the first half. Not in the middle of the first, whatever the middle of a half is. It was more than a quarter, put it that way. It was about a third of that game we didn't play particularly well for, maybe. And Declan was getting frustrated. And I did wonder, is this because you know that maybe Gareth Southgate's watching this game and he's trying to think, who's my number one? Who's my number one guy? And I didn't feel the West Ham players, were moving very well for him at all. And he was getting frustrated, wasn't he? I felt so anyway, So I was really pleased that he grew into the game and got better and better and better. And by the end of it, he started to run the game. I thought they run themselves out, Leeds, to one extent or another. Look, you guys and girls will have been watching all the other footage by now, all the other channels and the videos. And oh, by the way, Becky's put one up on this channel. In all honesty, if I known she was going to do it, I probably wouldn't have done this live with Gonzo. So if you haven't checked it out, please go and give it a little watch anyway. What I was going to say was, you've had a time to digest and to have a look at what's happened, maybe aware of the other results, look at the league table. Something quite remarkable is happening, really, isn't it? I think sometimes we're all emotional after the game. As I said in the review, for some reason, I launched my trainer down the hallway. I needed to throw something. And it was just it was definitely the trainer better than a cup of tea. Definitely. The trainer doesn't really have to be cleaned up, and not massively anyway. But what I'm saying is, you're hyped after the game and you're buzzing and all that stuff. And it feels, certainly after the game, it felt resilient. It felt as if we were. It felt like something special was happening. But you need to get a little bit calm. You need to sort of try and suss out the situation and reflect back on West Ham and what's going on. And it really is quite remarkable. And so much of it comes down to one man, and that's David Moyes. And I don't mean to. I think I do, and I try to mention the coaching staff as much as possible, because I don't mean to demean their contribution to what's going on at West Ham. I think it's really good. I think we've got some really good coaches. I think we've got some really good players. But it still comes back to one man, and that's David Moyes. And by the way, what I want is I want to feature some of your comments in this, which was the reason for doing this. But just a couple of things that have sort of been running around in my mind since the game, which is what I was talking about. A time to reflect. I'd say what I'm going to do. I just want to grab this comment from Tim now. I won't discuss that just yet, Tim. I want to leave that up there because that will prompt me to discuss it in just a second. Otherwise, I can't multitask. It will disappear from my mind. So I start to sort of look at it and look at how good West Ham are and what we're doing at the moment and what Moyes has done. And there was, I think it was Mikel Antonio had suggested that he knew he was going to score. And I think it's hard for us to look at Antonio with a fresh set of eyes, because we've seen the evolution of Antonio. We've seen Antonio come from Nottingham Forest. We've seen him played wide for the majority of the time. We've even seen him deployed at right back. And now he's a striker. And it's not like he's just been made a striker. We're now seeing, I think, the evolution of a striker over an 18-month period. Granted, some of it he's been injured for. But it makes me wonder, and I do wonder if you were looking at Antonio with a fresh set of eyes, how good is Antonio? Because he's brilliant, isn't he? And I thought they handled him well. I thought the fake Cresswell, 18 years of age, I thought he did really well. Start of the game, I thought they were doing exactly what you need to do, Antonio, which is try to manhandle him and try and put him off a little bit. You're never going to outmuscle him, but just try and occupy him the whole time. And I felt they actually did that really well. But even though they did, it's still not enough. It wasn't enough. It's not enough to keep him quiet for all game. And it was a lovely move, by the way, an absolutely lovely move in the first half where Benrahma did a bit of a dribble, passed it to Antonio. Antonio drove in, committed some defenders. Benrahma went running around to sort of the edge of the box. And you'll remember the move. Antonio passed it out to Benrahma, and Benrahma sort of shaped the ball to try and do what he does, which is that curled shot into the top corner. In the end, it was a reasonably, I thought it was a good shot, but it was a reasonably comfortable save for the goalkeeper. But again, I felt it was another layer in the awareness and I guess the expansion of a footballer in Antonio. He's just really good and he keeps getting better. I mean, he just keeps getting better all the time. Andy's saying there Antonio's like a fine wine maturing. He really is. And I think it's a little bit of a shame that he's almost running out of time. I don't mean that to be nasty. I hope, I hope we get another really good, what is he, 31 now? If we could get another really good 3-4 years out of Antonio, that'd be magnificent. I wonder if he's not worn down by the rigours of an excessive academy career and things like that. He's not got a lot of miles on the clock, I think, possibly, because he started out at non-league and things like that. So maybe he'll just go on for a little bit longer. But he's absolutely magnificent. Look, I pick Antonio out just because he keeps doing it, as I said in the review. I thought that Benrahma was probably my man of the match today, but I'll pick Antonio out for this one just because he's got this consistency going on. I can see Ionix there is saying he's joint top Premier League goal scorer. It's amazing. I mean, I don't think I'm being silly here to suggest. I can't remember the last time we had someone score 20 league goals. Can't remember. Someone will tell me in a minute. He'd have to stay fit. He probably won't. But if he stayed fit, he'd score 20 goals this season, wouldn't he? I mean, he would. He's going to get a hat-trick in a game at this season. I sort of laboured the point about Leeds an awful lot. And the reason I wanted to do that is I've got no particular love for Leeds over or above anyone else, But I'm almost looking forward to them turning a couple of teams over so as you can actually say that's how good they are. And because that's how good they are, that's how good West Ham are. Because I thought we played a very good. I know without Bamford, Llorente, and a couple of others. But I thought we really played well. That's a hostile, horrible environment to play football in. It really is. And I think we won't see the true value of that win until more teams have played at Elland Road and until the season's balanced out a little bit. 10 games have been played, 12 games have been played. I think at that point we might look and think, well, what a very, very good result. Anyway, so anyways, let's speak to let's just deal with Tim's there. This is the best team I've seen in 40 years supporting West Ham. Well, this is interesting. Actually, something I would like to do actually is get some. I was going to say get some older West Ham fans on like me, because I sort of pretty much feel the same way. Look, the Cotti and McAvenny team was very good, but it felt like it was good for one season, which might be a little bit harsh, but it just felt that way. We've had good teams in the past. We've had good players. But I've never felt West Ham were a consistent team. Never. Just never. We've never been consistent. And I've never felt that West Ham a resilient team. Those two words, consistent and resilient, that's That's not describing West Ham. That's not how. It's weird to think it. And I will tell you, I know I said it in a review, but Leeds away from home is with a 1-0 down with a crowd like that. That's not a game West Ham would win. I mean, it's just not. Historically, it's not a game West Ham would win. And you can say the same for the cup game as well against Man U. It's just not. I'm not saying we've never beat Man U in the cup before. Of course we have. Of course we have. That being said, the manner of it, the real manner of the way we did it, unrecognisable. The Dynamo Zagreb one, the controlled European manner in which we sort of dictated that game, took rests throughout the game, took our foot off the pedal at times, but still retained complete control. Very, very un-West Ham. We come back as well. Look at the Newcastle game. And I don't know if you don't quite call it muscle memory as such, do you? But I think the more times you are practiced at coming back from adversity, and the more times you go behind, then do that and win. And I would use Fergie's, not this current horrible incarnation, but Fergie's Man United as an example. They just became practiced at it. You sort of got an impression, if you remember, the Fergie team, won the treble and all the rest of it. You got the impression that that team actually had belief that even if it was 88, 89 minutes, no problem. No problem at all. We'll score. It was a crazy season, that one, if you remember it. And that's got to come. I don't think that's just good players. I think there's a habit to that. I think there's a belief to that. It's another thing, belief, resilience, consistency, belief, weird things. And it takes me back before it takes me back to Stuart Pearce playing at West Ham. Now, Stuart Pearce is a really good barometer, right? Because what you're dealing with a hardened Londoner there. Let me tell you a story about Stuart Pearce. Stuart Pearce, again, funny enough, like Antonio, like Jamie Vardy, like a few of these players, came from non-league. Ian Wright's another one. They can't believe their luck when they get in to get a job. When they get in, they get a paid job to play football. They can't believe their luck. I'll just give you this little story. It's a Nottingham Forest story, but it gives you an insight into Stuart Pearce's psyche and Stuart Pearce's character, because this is extremely relevant, because I'm then going to give you an observation that Stuart Pearce made about West Ham, the old West Ham. So Stuart Pearce, I think he was playing for Hayes or something like that. I might have that wrong. And anyway, he starts working his way up the pyramid, and but he's still doing electrical work. Brian Clough signed him to play for Nottingham Forest. Stuart Pearce didn't quite believe what was going on. And because Stuart Pearce was such a sort of working class guy, he stayed on the tools. He kept all his gear, basically all his electrical tools. He was an electrician. So he went up to Nottingham Forest, signed for Nottingham Forest, and then basically he was going to training. He was doing all his stuff and all the rest of it. And they had quite a team culture. It wasn't so much the fitness culture, but a lot of the players would go out and they would drink and they would socialise. Stuart Pearce wasn't always socialising. So I forget his name, but his trusted lieutenant, I think his name might have been Peter Taylor, right? Something like that, right? And I think Brian Clough said, "What's happened? Why isn't Pearcey around?" He reported back to Brian Clough, Stuart Pearce had actually still been advertising. Basically, Stuart Pearce went up to Nottingham, moved to Nottingham, and even though he's a footballer, he still advertised in the local newspaper, electrician. He didn't quite believe it. He was still going out, jobbing, doing electrical work. He was a professional footballer. He was about to get capped by England. But he thought, I don't trust all this. A little bit dodgy. Still got to get out on the tools, earn a little bit of money. That's Stuart Pearce, completely down to earth, completely working class, right? So I like his observations, because he wouldn't have a sort of pompous observation about West Ham. Anyway, when he moved to West Ham, I think he moved to West Ham possibly from Newcastle. And he made an interesting observation. He said, "I've always viewed West Ham as a bit of a soft touch." He said, "There's something wrong in the psyche of West Ham. He said they've always had good players. They've got really good fans, and they should have a lot more going for them. They should be doing better than they do, but they flatter to deceive. I think what they lack is steel. And that's what he said. And it was a long, long time ago. There you go. There's Gary. There's Gary there. I remember he had an advert in the Nottingham Forest programme as an electrician. He did. He got absolutely told off for it. He really did. Yeah. He couldn't believe he was a professional footballer. I think it's a nice story. But his observation about West Ham, about having no steel, was absolutely bang on. And so you look at him now, and you look at West Ham, and you think those qualities that all those years ago that Piercy had seen, I thought, he's absolutely right. But they've addressed that now. Gary, I do remember that. I'm not saying the 86 team were poor. This is not my point. My point is, the 86 team were excellent. My point is, in 85 it weren't as good. In 87 it wasn't there. We weren't consistent. I don't mean consistent over a season. Since David Moyes, his second stint since lockdown, it's over a season and a half already, right, of consistency. This is not what I'm used to. It's really not. It's really not. And sorry, Tim's saying there again, McAvenny got 26, Cotty got 20. Yeah, so I'm sorry if I've missed that. I've just been chatting away, really. I don't know if we know the last person that scored 20 goals. But yeah, I mean, and Andy's right as well. The pitches then were terrible. Were terrible, but they were terrible for everyone. It didn't stop Liverpool being consistent. It didn't stop Nottingham Forest being consistent, And we had a good team. We were unlucky. We were really, really unlucky that season. Hartson got 24. Did he really? Crikey, yes. Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, brilliant. It was really, really good. Really good. Anyway, the point being, we can all, pick at these bits and pick teams. We've had good teams before. We've had good players. There's just a consistency, and it's like Darren says there, we're not a soft touch anymore. I used to do, if you look at the old previews, I used to do the previews when we play Man City. Oh, it annoyed me. Did you remember us? We used to get, I'm talking relatively recent history here. They beat us 5-0, 6-0, stuff like that. And you knew they would. And it was about us rolling over and having our tummy tickled. And that's what I always used to say. And I'm sick of it. I was sick of us just not contesting it. Yeah, it's that old thing about being people's second team and patting us on the head and saying, well done, West Ham, play some nice football. I don't want to be that. I want to be ugly. I want to be nasty. I want a team of winners. And now we've got that. I want to talk about Thomas Souček as well. Because I got a bit funny in the review. Then I'll tell you why. The same guy, it's 3 times now, and what it is, I'll just tell you now. When Ben Rama signed, I mean, you had a lot of people from his home country. If you didn't say Ben Rama was Maradona, then you couldn't say, oh, he's had a bad game or he's misplaced a pass. But like the force of a nation was upon you, basically. You couldn't appraise him in a way. And I remember doing a video and I was saying, how come it's always Ben Rama getting substituted? I think it feels like Bowen loses the ball just as much as Ben Rama. And I said that. I thought I was appraising it fairly. And then someone they laid into me, hold on a second, you're being unfair. You're being unfair on Ben Rama. I thought, oh, do you know what? I can't be bothered. And the only reason I said that earlier was because it was that. I thought, no, don't do that, because the majority of the Czech fans that have come and sort of follow West Ham have been really good. But I don't want to be in a situation where we have to pretend that everything Souček does is brilliant. Where actually, if he does misplace a pass, you can't say it. You can't upset Souček. You upset Souček, you upset a nation, all the rest of it. I can't be bothered with it. So that's why. But I thought Souček was poor in that first. I thought he looked tired. And I don't even blame him for looking tired. I think he runs like nobody else. He makes covers so many miles. The guy tried to argue back the point, saying, hold on a second, Souček runs loads and loads of miles. Yeah, I know. That's why I think he's knackered. And he looked knackered in the first half. And he made the mistake. such as calling Souček out. I called Fabianski out in the when he made the mistake against Man United. So it's not that you just got it's a match review. Someone plays a good pass, you call. It's simple as that. Nothing personal at all. Love Souček. In fact, I made Souček my player of the season last season. Quickly gets forgotten though. Anyway, here's what I think happened. I reckon he's such a favourite of David Moyes. I don't think David Moyes ever criticises him at all, right? Ever. I get that impression. You get the impression that he's not afraid to shout at people, Moisey. He gets in there and shout if people don't do well. I don't know why. This is just a hunch. I get the impression he's not really had a go at Souček. Why would he need to? Souček's been brilliant. There was such a change between the first half of Souček and the second half of Souček. I think he must have had a go. He must have pulled into one side and said, "This is not good enough, not good enough at all." Because what you got in the second half from Souček was an absolute force of nature. I mean, he was sensational. He really was. And I was pleased to see it. And I hope this. Sorry, I got said Ferdinand there. He had his potato salad at halftime. That's clearly what did it. What we've not seen as much of recently is Souček. Not only Souček getting in the box for the headers, but us deploying tactics that would benefit him. It's hard to criticise Moyes' tactics. Look where we are. Look where we are in the league. Look, we're through in the League Cup. We're in Europe. We're top of the group in Europe. It's hard to criticise the tactics. All right. However, if I was to a little tiny criticism, I don't think we utilise Souček's heading prowess as much as we should. That being said, I don't think he's getting in there as much. So I hope this sort of brings back the basically the goal scoring run that we saw last season. Sorry, here we go. Sorry, you're saying it. I wish Amazon and Netflix would do a season behind the scenes. Do you know what? Yes and no. Yes and no. I've got to say, Andy, I'm not sure I want the cameras behind the scenes. And I'll tell you what, Moyes wouldn't allow it, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. He said, we Czech people take this extremely seriously. You offend one of us, the whole nation is going after you. The Czech Mafia is getting ready. Souček first half assessment. There you go. Absolutely. What can you do? Hung, drawn, and quartered. Got two nations. Anyway, I'll tell you what, the worst one was when I dared say in a video that I thought Gonzo was a bit crap. Oh, God. I mean, thousands. I'm actually going to have to go into hiding. How dare you? How dare you? I think I'll leave it there, actually. But, yeah, it was... It didn't go well. It didn't go well. So yeah. But anyway, my point is, I don't want to curtail. You know, we love Souček. I love all the players. Most of the players. I do love all the players. Sorry, I like all this. The only reason you're still alive is because you praised Sufan Krone. So get away with that one. Thank you. I praise them all. I mean, I've got to say, I love the fact that we got the three Czech lads in there. That was a really sensible move as well to bring in a little community within a community so as they can all settle. And the last thing you need is people coming from a foreign country and feeling isolated somewhere. And, if they're over here and they're there with their families, they're all going to settle. They're all going to feel comfortable. They're all going to play well. And Andy asked earlier, have I recorded the player ratings? I have recorded the player ratings, just haven't uploaded them yet. I think, to be fair, I might have given Souček comparable marks on the player ratings to Declan Rice. Let's have a few comments anyway. Let's have a few comments. Shall we say? I work in fresh sport. I've worked with athletes the last 10 years. Recently, I've seen West Ham players who have matched the effort I've seen in my sports. Weird thing happens today. I've got to say that on Paul on that one. I mean, I wrote it down in my notes there. What did I say? Just Leeds look sharp, faster, and fitter than West Ham. So I've written that in the first half. And I don't know if they burned themselves out. And they were sizzling, weren't they? Let's be fair, they were sizzling. And I thought, I thought it's taken its toll. the extra games had taken its toll, but it clearly wasn't. So I can't find another word for it apart from long fitness. We had marathon fitness. It was weird, you know, to see us at the end, and they'd almost blown themselves out. And it's like someone said earlier, about us managing. It's not just game management. I feel like we're managing our fitness. I referred to it in the European game. It feels like we're managing our fitness here. And the more it goes on, so fatigue levels, am I worried about fatigue levels? Less so with each passing game. A massive injury, yes. And there's nothing we can do about an injury, but fatigue levels, it seems like we can sort of manage them, you know? Ollie was moaning about not getting penalties. Yeah, I mean, obviously I know Gaza from the comments in the preview. I've not seen anything. I'd be interested to look at that tonight. Andrew says Bob be getting crucified. It wasn't for Moyes having his best scouting in the league. Any other manager picking dud players would be copying it. Yeah, I mean, fair, absolutely fair comments there, mate. Fair comments there. There's Gary. Enjoyed myself so much. I don't get it. Oh, right. Sorry, we're into the own. Listen, another subject for another day. Let's just see what Vernon's saying there. Leeds are always brilliant for 75 minutes. Oh, really? Is that we have a stamina to endure? Do you know what I heard about Bielsa? I heard about Bielsa that actually they really do burn out towards the end of the season. Apparently, that's a hallmark of his teams. Actually, I didn't know it happened actually within the games themselves though. That's do me a favor, just bear with me. Sorry, I keep forgetting to do this. Which is the one football app. I'll tell you what, take a look at the one football app. I'm actually going to tell you what the one football app is saying about West Ham. Because I tell you what, I've only got it set to West Ham. Click the link in the description below. Download the one football app. Just set it to West Ham. Let's have a look. Following. Who are you following? I don't think you can see that. Can you see that? It's a bit glary, isn't it? Following England and West Ham, right? Favourite team, West Ham. Oh dear. Antonio gets 8.5. So they've got their own player ratings there. West Ham stun Leeds with last-minute winner. Did you see Mikel Antonio? He sat on the bench afterwards, just grinning at the end of the game. And they said, "Come on, go and get off." It's going about Mikel Antonio being best striker in the Premier League. What does Areola have to do to get into the team? I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, that's the one football app. It's free. Click it in the link below. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful app. Thank you very much. Look, let's have a little look at these comments. What are you lot saying? Let's just how brilliant the team are. Anyone agree that going well in 3 competitions actually helps the whole squad rather than depletes it because all the players involved? This is a good shout. This is a good shout. I thought this when I saw Lanzini warming up, when all the players were out doing the initial warm up. I thought, I wonder if he's pretty cool with this because he knows he's playing in 3 or 4 days' time. Maybe if we can keep the fitness, I want to do a video on the striker thing. I've got a little theory on the striker thing. Not that Moyes wants it. I'll deal with it. I'll be a separate video. But this is the video. I wonder how good we'll be in 2 years' time if we can just keep things as they are. I mean, that is really, really interesting. That's a video I'll be doing very, very soon. Today, really, I like that. I like that. There you go. Love the app. It's not a bad app at all. It's not a bad app at all. Where's my Czech friend? The only good Czech players playing the Premier League and West Ham. Who's Czech and plays for Arsenal? Who Czech and plays for Arsenal? Someone will tell me. It'll be along soon. It's not as good, by the way. And Connor's in the house. I think I read that Bielsa said we're up against a striker who's very difficult to neutralise. I love the translation of language, neutralise. But that's, there's not a lot lost in translation. If what's Bielsa saying in the dressing room is we have to neutralise this player, they're gonna. I thought they really tried. I really did. I thought they really, really tried. And I was just excited about how much of a test that was. I thought it was a really massive test. I didn't think that going into it. I thought we would win, and I expected us to win. But you've got to put into context the situation you find yourselves in, which is 1-0 down against a team who are playing well. Honestly, every time we had a corner, and we had a few, it felt like they were going to score. I thought they were a scary team. So you put that into context. 1-0 down, the character that we showed to do it. And as always, Moyes seems to trust the players on the pitch. And what I was really pleased with, I was really pleased to see Ben Rama stay on. I really think now that he's got his trust. Absolutely. That tackle where he came and did the interception, and then the other one where he was at right back, and then the battle he had with Phillips, where Phillips had to foul him numerous times. It's that stuff. David Moyes knows. He knows that that Cy Benrahma can nutmeg players. He knows it. He knows that he can curl it into the top corner. He knows that he can dribble past 2 or 3 players. What David Moyes wants to know is, are you going to battle for the team? Are you going to get back when you lose the ball? And the answer is yes. And that was no surprise to see Benrahma stay on. I'm delighted to see that performance. Sorry, we're talking about Czech and Rosicki and stuff like that, aren't we? That's it, Adrian. I like that we are starting to think about replacing the players that are starting to age, feel more content. Yeah. I'll tell you what, actually, he was all right, wasn't he? The Leeds left back, Junior Firpo, that was his name. I know we were linked with him, but and there's nothing wrong with our left back, but yeah, it just goes to show there are players to be had, there are players to be bought. I can't remember who played left back from last season, but it seemed like they'd massively upgraded their left back. I can't remember again. Someone to tell me. That wouldn't surprise me, Paul. What I would say is I felt that we were dangerous again from set pieces today. And I felt they defended them well. It's like a Leeds loving, isn't it? But I thought they were really good. If I was a Leeds fan, I think they might be in trouble, by the way, Leeds fans. I think they're trying to get on the pitch after we scored. I don't know. It remains to be seen. I wouldn't be surprised if that does crop up. I think there were arrests today. I'm pretty sure there would have been arrests. I'm glad you brought this up. Brentford will be a tough game. Yes, Brentford will be like that. Brentford will play like that. But I think and it is a lovely football. There's no doubt about it. The way that Brentford play, the way that Leeds play is really attractive on the eye. But I do think we've got the antidote for it. And I do think that for all of the skill and all of the flair, I wonder about the value of resilience. I wonder about the value of being competitive, the value of being consistent, the value of strength, I can't believe I'm saying these words, West Ham, height and physicality. Brentford will play well. They will play well. And as Rob's saying there, Brentford will stay up. And I hope so as well. That would be really, really nice. But those teams bother me less than they ever have. I'm sort of looking forward to. I'm looking forward to testing ourselves against is Liverpool. I don't know why. I am looking forward to testing ourselves against Liverpool. I think maybe because I feel we've been unlucky in a couple of games the last couple of seasons. It's funny. Listen to me. I'm thinking, I fancy Liverpool. Bring Liverpool on. Isn't it funny? It is funny. Are you in your chair still farting? It was never me farting. Right, listen, I've never farted on a video in my life, particularly not an edited one. I'll tell you now, if I farted on a video, I'll just edit it out. I'm not fart and left the video in. I'm not so old yet that I fart and it just sort of slips out about me noticing. I'm in a shed, believe you me. If I fart in here, I know about it, and so does the dog. Actually, the dog looks dead. Maybe I did fart and I've gassed him. You never know. Cheering for Arsenal tomorrow to beat the Spuds. What's Connor saying? Thomas Franks after tonight's game has not shown Liverpool respect. Ended 3-3. Well, I didn't know that. Isn't that funny? While I was speaking about Liverpool, I didn't actually know. Okay. fair play to them, good on them. But I tell you what, I've seen those newly promoted teams take it to Liverpool. Last season, Leeds took it to Liverpool. The season before, when Norwich got promoted, was it, what's his name? Pookie, the striker. I think it was the first game of the season before last. Norwich almost beat them. They were Aaron's and the other one, the left back, one that signed for Newcastle, name escapes me. Jamal Lewis. I thought they really played them well. These promoted teams tend to give Liverpool a game. Let's see what Paul's saying. Gonzo, what's your absolute best situation? You see West Ham ended up by the end of the season. Your wildest dreams. Oh wow. That's we'll deal with a Joshua and Usyk in a minute, which was the reason for doing this video anyway, by the way. What's your best situation? Oh, okay. Let me think about this. I love that question. That's a great question. Let me pop that up there, Will, just so I don't forget about it. This season, I'm still finding it hard. Okay, so I would dream of finishing in the top 4. The real dream, I'd love to win. We can't win the Premier League. I know we're only 2 points behind the top, but we can't win the Premier League, right? I just don't think we can. Can we? We can't. I'll tell you something now. I don't know why I'm pointing and getting aggressive at you. I'll tell you what. I'll love it if we beat them. That's Kevin Keegan, by the way. I'll tell you what. If everything is left as it is, and David Moyes over the next couple of seasons is given 50 million, then 50 million again, we will be capable of some things. I tell you that now. But for the moment, I don't think we can. Wildest dreams? I'd love to get into that Europa Cup final. And if we did get into that Europa Cup final, I wouldn't be saying it's nice just to be in the final. Yeah, I said, well, listen, you asked. It was a lovely question, a lovely dreamy question. Top 4, I don't know. I'm still trying to equate and balance up how well we'll do being in all competitions. But that whole thing about doing a Burnley or doing an Ipswich or basically being that club that qualify for Europe and it kills your league form, that's gone. We've got 11 points already. I don't know what will take you down, but it's probably going to be 34, 35 points will probably keep you up this season. We're already a third of the way there. That whole scenario is not going to happen. It's now a case of how well can we do in Europe, and actually we're going to be fine in the league. How high can we finish in the league? Why are we talking about Natalie Sawyer? I like Natalie Sawyer. Why are we talking about her? Why are we talking about Natalie Sawyer? Nice Natalie Sawyer. Nothing wrong with Natalie Sawyer. I can tell you that much. I don't mind talking about Natalie Sawyer. Talk about her all you want. I'm just wondering why we talk. Oh, she's a Brentford fan, isn't she? That's right. Good on her. I'm sure she's delighted. Absolutely delighted. Doubly pleased. Usyk and Joshua. Joshua's got to overpower him, hasn't he? He's got to overpower him. If anyone gets a stream and they want to let me know, by the way, you're more than welcome to. Joshua surely's got to overpower him. I can't imagine that Usyk has got the punch power to deal with him, but Joshua's got to stand there and jab. He's got to stay at a distance and jab. Usyk's clearly going to be a bigger boxer. He's clearly going to be the faster boxer. Has he got the power to knock Joshua out? That being said, Joshua's not got a great chin, has he? I mean, he has to win. I was going to screw it up for everyone, Joshua, really, because let's be fair. We all know the fight we want to see, and Joshua's got to win, and Fury's got to win, which is still a dangerous fight against Wilder. It really is, despite how much he dominated him. Hey, Gonzo, always glad to wake up at 3 a.m. when it's a win like that. He's from New Zealand. Oh, New Zealand, lovely New Zealand. I was watching a documentary about New Zealand just yesterday. What I think of the Fornicators performance that we made, Never Stops Running. Yeah, I wasn't his best game. You know, he lacked a little bit of composure. We should have got in 1-0, although we didn't quite deserve it. You know, probably at that time. But hello from New Zealand. I'd love, it's the one place I'd go and live, New Zealand. I've got to say, if I moved anywhere, New Zealand would be me, or Norway. Probably New Zealand. Anyway, well, that doesn't matter. We're not dealing with that now. Joshua's chin is too weak. But this is interesting. Do you think we might go for Hlosek in the next transfer window? If he does really well, yeah. West Ham are now And I will finish very shortly. I know I always say that all the time, but I'll finish shortly. West Ham are now in a position whereby some players, I think, might not have been aware of us before last season. Last season, we would have raised an awareness, West Ham. So then the question is, are West Ham a flash in the pan? Are West Ham and what's happening to them in Europe, is that just um, that they're a one season wonder? And then you look at this season and other players, good players, and you say Hlosek, and I'll give you another example, Yosif and Nesri. Now, as I understand, I mean, because this is the guy that David Moyes wants beyond any other. If it's just that he loves the city of Seville, and his children are comfortable at school, and his wife loves living there, and all those things, fine. You know what? He shouldn't even move anyway. If he's happy there, they're playing Champions League football and he's content and the kids are happy in school, good for him. Good on him, right? If, however, the reason might be I don't want to move from this field just yet, particularly to this West Ham team. Who are they? I need a bit more evidence. And you might well find that we're more able to sign players because actually you might well find players looking at us thinking, hold on, they were good last season and they're good this season. Of course, we come back to the consistency. You may well find that's it. Connor, I would love one, my old son. You got all my details. Mate, I'd love you to send me a link, please, mate. I just know what's going to happen. The old thing's going to stop working. Yes, I'd love that. Just say thank you, Glenn. As always, don't smash anything. Gently tap the like button, please. Please do not destroy your phone or your laptop. Say, I'm broken my laptop. Someone told me to smash the button. But a like, and I'm assuming, just a like would be lovely. I'm assuming anybody that's watching this is probably subscribed anyway. So you're very, very kind and lovely people. Let's do a couple more comments. I look, you know this, mate. You know this. I'm surprised Solskjaer stayed in the job as long as he had. In fact, I'd like him to keep it for a bit longer because someone at some point is going to come into West Ham. Come into Man United and do a really good job there and be a competent manager. Not one season wonder, but I don't think Moyes almost too big a factor in it all. You are right. You are right. By the way, you're right. But there's nothing we can do about that. There is nothing we can do about that apart from try and retain him, and sometimes not only retain him, just make him feel his love for the project, and we can give him everything he wants. That's what we do, and then he'll stay with us. But you're absolutely right. Absolutely right, mate. Love the Fornicator and his work rate. However, I can't feel we brought in a more technically gifted player. Yes, yeah, I agree. But Moyes does love his work rate. The trick is that not always you get these technical players that don't work as hard, and that's why I think he'd be absolutely delighted with what he's seen from Ben Rama. Thanks, Connor, by the way. Thanks, mate. He's emailed it over to me. Very kind of you, mate. What's this? It's not. It will. There you go. It will. It's a bit fluffy. A bit fluffy today. I watched it. I don't know what everyone does think. Where's hold on. Digital Dong. I've just subscribed Ollie in. Exactly. Let's hope he stays there. And thank you for subscribing. Yeah, mate, should have a whip round. See if we can keep Ollie going to Solskjaer to manage job. Ollie's a twat, out of his depth, living off past history. But I want him to stay, spend all the money in the world. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do you know what? I hope so. I've almost not seen enough to be able to make a decision either way. I think he needs a goal. He needs some confidence. Not everyone settles in quickly. That's the other thing. The Fornicator himself did not settle in quickly. Might need a bit of time. The trouble for him is that he's a 30-odd million pound player. The thing that really helps him is that the team are playing well. So there's no real pressure on him. So he's got an environment to grow in. If we were down the bottom of the league, then it becomes an issue. I don't think it's an issue at the moment, to be honest with you. I hope so, though. I hope so. Ben Rama surprised me. He looked sulky and arrogant, a bit like Halle at first, but it's shown he is a grafter and a team player. You're absolutely right there. Why don't you go for a tint? Yeah. There you go. I was out in Zagreb and we showed Moyes a love. There's a pivotal moment out there and he appreciated the fans saying his name throughout. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. He's going to love that. He's going to love that. He really is. It's great. Well done for travelling out there. Such commitment. Wonderful, wonderful commitment. Gonzo, you tease. What are your thoughts on AJ Usyk? Did I not say? Did I not say? I think I said, didn't I? I think AJ will have just enough to do it. I wasn't trying to tease me, old mate. I wasn't trying to tease. No, I think that was it. I wasn't trying to dodge the question. Sit on the old fence. Had a laugh watching the Manx Webby and O'Neill YouTube channel. I don't. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I don't know, but he's good in Wank Nandes. I'll have to wait and see that. I'm looking. Obviously, I heard all about it. Everybody was talking about it in the pre-match show, so I look forward to seeing a bit of that on Match of the Day. Like, if we see Match of the Day, I'll be watching the boxing. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Hold on, what are we saying here? Yeah, we'll leave that alone, shall we? Love the live chat after games. Yeah, but we don't always do it, but it was a 3 p.m. kickoff, wasn't it? So that's allowed us to have a little chat this evening. I like it. I enjoy this format. I do like just going through the comments, having a chinwag and digressing and drifting off. I haven't drifted off much today. We haven't digressed. I haven't got not many tangents. Mark, who's Mark Henry? Who's Mark Henry? Who's Mark Henry? Who is Mark Henry? I've heard that name, haven't I? I don't know who it is. Anyway, last couple, I think Brentford might be a bit more pliable. I like that word. When we play them after a monumental shift they put in against the Scouts. Again, I need to catch up on the thing today. I'm sure if they did draw 3-0, they did really put in a massive shift. By the way, Antonio a better finisher than Troy. Yes, absolutely. Yes, he is. Mark Henry's a guy from the WWE. Is he? Oh, Charlie would know. Charlie would know. Does he wear a leotard? Because a lot of them wear leotards, don't they? I would argue with them. I mean, they would eat me. They would pick me up and destroy me. But I'm just saying. There's a lot of leotard wearing going on for manly men. Is all I'm saying on that. Hold on, what's going on here? Mark Henry's a massive geezer. So safe to assume means, Mark Henry looks like Antonio or something. Does he? Right. Okay. He's big and strong. Well, Antonio is certainly big and strong. That's for sure. But Antonio wouldn't wear a leotard? A leotard. Definitely wouldn't. He'd get dressed up. Was he dressed up? A snowman. He'd get dressed up as a snowman, but on a leotard. Couple more, you lovely people. Have you heard of football? I'm not doing that. You see, you're cheeky. Not doing that one. I'm actually pleased with myself for not getting fooled. Pretty chuffed. A random man. I like that. A random man assaulted me earlier with milk, cream, and butter. I thought to myself, how dare he? That's really good. That's really good. I've got more than one joke. The thing is, one of them is so rude you almost say the word, and I'm not. It's a bit of a tongue twister, and I don't want to end up saying the worst swear word that there is. So I'll leave that. Yeah, I'll leave it because I'm just not. I'm not confident. Oh dear. Everyone's buzzing, Ryan. Everyone's buzzing. Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you like to know? We'd all like to know where Gio is. No idea. No idea at all. At all. Really don't know. Really don't know. He entered. So it was. We've not seen him since last Friday. He was. He entered a jam making competition in the Women's Institute Jam Making Guild. Apparently, he made such a beautiful jam. It upset the reigning champion, who makes a wonderful marmalade. There was a bit of a kerfuffle, and he's not been seen since. It's all the talk in the local newspaper. Hopefully be back on Monday. You never know. I, I know West Ham clips. I know West Ham clips. Yes, okay. So yeah, funny, proper, good Twitter account. Really good Twitter account. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nice guy. Messaged me a couple of times as well. Messaged him. Yeah, no, I know West Ham clips. Why are we talking about clips? Anyway, right. Listen, I'm going to go. And Connor sent me more links over. Thank you, Connor. I hope they're all to the boxing. None of your dodgy links. Thank you very much, young man. Hold on. I passed the cemetery the other day and saw a man there. I said, "Morning." He said, "No, I'm walking the dog." Excellent. Excellent. I love it. I love it. Excellent. Has Gio joined? Take that. He loves take that. He went to the Gary Barlow book signing. I mean, I was surprised as well. It was raining. It was a big queue. He had to queue overnight as well. So he took, little fold out chairs, little camping chair, and he's got a little chair with a little umbrella that slots in. And so he had the umbrella over his chair, took his flask, his sandwiches. Overnight he took 2 flasks, one for his coffee and another one so he could wee in it because he didn't want to leave the queue. But yeah. I mean, he loves his boy bands. He really does. He loves Gary. He loves Gary. Anyway, I am gonna go. Right, listen, you are all lovely. Did you hear? Okay, right, we're done. Hold on, no, we're not. Maybe one more. At a bank, an old lady asked me to help check her balance. I pushed her over. Oh dear. We'll finish on the football. We're progressing nicely. We'll lose you. You're right, Fred. All right. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you, Andy. Bless you. Top stuff, Gonzo. Do this Hammers chat. Absolutely essential. Thank you. And we do really appreciate the subscribing, the viewing, and all the stuff, and most importantly, the interactions. So, but you know what? Thanks for all joining up. I've actually had a great laugh, great fun, really fun to join in and have a chat with everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I won't do a goodbye that lasts 1,000 years, and enjoy the boxing if you're gonna. Lots of videos. Go and check out Becky's video, by the way. And sorry for sort of gate crashing it, and I'll see you all later.